What's going on? This is Kex Next, and today I'm going to show you how you can create a really nice looking Valentine's Day card inside of Adobe After Effects with Video Copilot's Element 3D. Before I start, I would recommend you go download Video Copilot's Valentine's Day pack. It was posted 3 years ago as of 2017. It's really great. I really love how they included the Hungry Man Dinner for One in the pack. That's really funny. But we're going to be using some candles and things. So once you download that, just put it in your Element 3D Models folder, and you should be set. So to start off, let's create a new composition. Make it 1920 by 1080 and hit OK. Create a new solid, and it won't matter what color it is because we're going to right-click and apply Video Copilot's Element 3D. This is going to erase the color. So go to Elements, Scene Setup, and disable Draft Textures. And then you want to go into the Valentine's Day pack. Maybe select the Candle Heart 1. You can kind of see there's some discoloration back here on the material, and we don't want that. So twirl the little arrow down, go to the material, and set the type to physical. That should get rid of it. Maybe turn the environment on so we can kind of see what we're doing. Then we want to grab the candle on the y-axis and move it up until the bottom of it is right at the grid. Now we can go to the Create tab and select the plane. Go to the size XY and change this to 20 by 20. Then we can twirl this down, go to the presets, go to physical, and go to the plastic matte. And put that on there. Then we can go to the color. Go to the diffuse color, maybe make it like a desaturated, very desaturated, pinkish, reddish pink. I think that'll look pretty good. It doesn't look good here, of course, because we're not even close to finished, but, you know, there we go. Hit OK. Go to the plane model, go to the reflection settings, go to the mode, and hit mirror surface, and this will give the candle a reflection on the plane. You want to do the same thing for the candle heart, except instead of hitting mirror surface, you want to hit spherical. And that will reflect the plane. Of course, you can't see the reflection because this is a matte on the plane model. So to fix that, we're going to change the glossiness. We're going to turn that way up to like 95%. And now we can see that nice looking reflection. It doesn't look very good right now. Maybe we could desaturate the plane a little bit more. Maybe make it a little bit more red. Hit OK. Yeah, that's fine. Another thing we might want to do is go to the candle heart and the material, go to the diffuse, and change the brightness up to make it like a lot brighter. And hit OK, and hit OK one more time. Once we do that, our model will pop up right here, and we're going to create a new camera. 50 millimeters is fine, and hit OK. Hit C on the keyboard to bring up the camera tool, and if you hold down the left click, you can orbit around your scene. Hold down the middle mouse button, you can pan around, and if you hold down and right click, you can zoom in and out in Z space. That's by the way, that's so I can put beginner in the title of my video. So FYI. Nah. But from here, we want to create a light. So create a new light. Make it a point light. Change the intensity to around 200. And make it white. Hit OK. Now if we hit V on the keyboard to bring up our selection tool, we can grab the light and move it around. We want it to be a little bit farther away from the candle. That looks pretty good. Now we can create another new light. And this one will be ambient and make it 25%. Maybe even 50. And change the color to a very saturated pink magenta color. Hit OK. Maybe 50% was a little too much. Maybe turn that down to like 25. Yeah, that's fine. Another thing we want to do is we want to go to our first light and duplicate it with Command D or Control D on Windows and move it around, be over here. And we want to double click on it, change the intensity down to 50, and make it a saturated color like a pink. Or maybe like a little bit more red in there and hit OK. That's okay. Maybe move it a little bit farther away from the candle. Yeah, that looks okay. Now we want to create a good looking background. So right click, hit New, Solid, and you just want to change the color to a pinkish reddish color. And you want it to be very vibrant. You want it to be very saturated because you want this Valentine's Day card to pop. Hit OK when you're done with that. Hit OK again, and then you want to move this layer under the Element 3D layer. And that's fine. Maybe the first light looks a little too bright to me. It looks a little too close to the object. So maybe move it away. Turn the brightness down to something like 150. Yeah, that's fine. So also the solid in the back, maybe click it, go to layer and solid settings, make it a little bit more pink. Hit OK. Yeah, that looks okay. Now we want to find a good angle. So if we take our camera tool and hold down and right click, and then hold down the middle mouse wheel, we can find a good angle for our card. Another thing we could do to make this look a little bit more realistic is go to the Element 3D layer, twirl down the render settings, go to the Ambient occlusion, enable it, and change the intensity to something like 5.5. I found that that works for me. And if I go out of active camera and go to custom view, you don't have to do this. I'm just trying to show you what it looks like. You can kind of see what it's doing. It's kind of giving like a shadow around the bottom of the candle, and that makes it look a little bit better. I actually kind of like that that lighting angle, so maybe I could go back into my active camera and move it around a bit until I find an angle I really kind of like. Alright, that looks okay with me. Now we want to set up the depth of field. So we're going to go into the camera settings and hit A twice on the keyboard. AA. Turn depth of field on. Maybe I might set my resolution to something like half. Maybe even, yeah. And also go to Element 3D and change full render to preview so this will load faster. But we're going to the camera and turn aperture to something pretty high like 200, and it'll give it sort of that macro look. But then we want to change the focus distance to be on the candle. Maybe go here and turn on adaptive resolution. That could also help me see what I'm doing a little bit better. Yeah. Right there. That looks okay. Maybe turn the aperture up a little bit more, like 250. Just blur it up a lot. Yeah. Maybe move the distance a little bit closer to the stem of the candle, or that little thing, the wick, I mean. Yeah, that looks kind of good. Twirl that down. And this is looking pretty good so far, but now we want to add our text. So right click, create new, and then text layer. And we want to type in something corny, like, be mine, Valentine. Or Charlie Sheen. That's fine. And we want to just move it down here. Maybe change the font size. And of course, we can go over here into the character settings and change the color. Maybe like a bright red to match the candle. And this is looking pretty good. Maybe move it down into the grayish area of the plane. And if you want to put like a to and a from section, just add another text layer. Type to. And I am horrible with the keyboard today. My fingers are just like two left hands or something like that. But you want to take this and change the character color to just white. And then you can put it up here. Maybe change the font size a little bit. And then you can duplicate it with Command D or Control D on Windows. Put it over here and then type in from. Maybe move it a little closer so you have more space for your name. And that, it looks like a pretty convincing Valentine's Day card. Now, of course, you could go into like the Element 3D layer and go to the scene setup and change your model. So like instead of a candle, you could do a bottle of lotion, because everyone knows nothing screams Valentine's Day like a bottle of lotion. Just hit OK, and it should update. Maybe go into the scene setup and rotate it a little bit. Actually, yeah, rotate it a lot. Maybe go to the focus distance and change this. You know what? I want you to take this Valentine's Day card and just, give it out to your crush. I am sure that they would love it. I mean, this is a perfect gift. You got the Charlie Sheen text on there. You got the lotion. This is an awful Valentine's Day card. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas for a later video or something you might want to see, please leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.